Reminder, please turn off your cell phones. And all the same things, no video, no flash. We'll start with a comment from Coach, and then we'll open up for questions for the student athletes. Tim?
Yep. Well, I think the difference was certainly Tommy Henry. I mean, their aggressiveness offensively, but you have to give that kid a lot of credit. He threw a lot of strikes. He minimized damage when he had to. When he found himself in a little bit of trouble, he was able to negate our offense. He did a really good job. He didn't allow many base runners, and as I said, he just kind of forced the action a little bit with his fastball and his off-speed stuff. He made it very difficult on us, and they played some pretty good defense. And offensively, you know, we got knocked back on our heels early, you know, with a 2-run first and second inning. And then I thought Drake settled in pretty well. Pitched out of a jam one of those innings, but, you know, his pitch count rolled up just because of the first couple of innings and kind of negated his opportunity of going deeper into the ball game. And then I thought Michigan did a really nice job of kind of playing some offense at the end of the game. They were the aggressor. There's no doubt about that, and our guys know that. That's a good ball team right now. They're playing very confident, and they're a good club.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for the student athletes. Raise your hand, we'll get a mic to you. Identify yourself, et cetera. And we'll start back here.
Tim, from where they came from, barely getting in the tournament, Chris Lee, Vandy Sports.
Okay.
From barely getting in the tournament, you guys being preseason #1, having the target on your back, an easy narrative to say, well, they're playing with nothing to lose. The pressure's on you guys. I'm guessing you didn't see it that way, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, there's no narrative. This is baseball. I mean, it's one team playing better than the other. I don't give a crap where they came from. I mean, they got into the tournament. Once they got into the tournament, they're a good team. Fresno State did it. Coastal Carolina did it. It doesn't matter. You know, once you get into the tournament, then it's a new lease on life. They played well. They're a better team tonight.
Once again, please direct your questions to the student athletes first, okay? Adam?
Adam Sparks of Tennessee, and this is for JJ. Coach said they were the aggressor. Do you feel like that's anything that you guys need to be concerned about maybe trying to be more of the aggressor in Game 2?
You know, at this point, it is what it is. You know, each game has a different personality. You know, they obviously came out and got us, and you know, credit to their guy. You know, he's been their man all year, and you know, he put us away. But tomorrow's gonna be a new ball game, and it's gonna be a different personality that game, and we're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing all year.
Okay, Matt?
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Reviews for Drake. What was the difference for you in the second and third time through the order compared to how much trouble you had in the first time through?
Really just came down to just throwing strikes. I couldn't find the strike zone really well in the first couple innings, and kind of got in some hitters counts and predictable counts, and they were just jumping on the fastball and just jumping on the pitches they thought were coming in predictable counts.
Okay, more questions for the student athletes? Well, guys, we'll see you tomorrow night.
One right here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt, I'm sorry.
This is just for JJ. You obviously took Tommy Yard tonight, but he obviously was very effective against the rest of the lineup. What do you think maybe was the key for him in terms of how much he was able to keep your offense in check?
You just pound in the strike zone. You know, when you pound the strike zone and you throw a lot of strikes, you know, you force guys to hit, and that can get guys out of their zone, and it can force you to do a little bit too much.
Now, any more questions for the student athletes? If not, game tomorrow night, guys. Thank you. Now we'll have questions for Tim. Adam?
Tim, you guys haven't been down 0-1 in quite a while in a series. You talk a lot about experiences, guys leaning on past experience. The Duke experience, is that one, do you think, that will help them being down 0-1 and fighting back?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think our approach in this tournament has been ever since the SEC tournament, it's just everything's a one-game tournament. So, I mean, it doesn't go any further than that.
Okay, Matt?
Tim, Michigan 5 extra base hits, 6 walks tonight. Going forward, obviously tomorrow, and then obviously maybe at Game 3, how do you approach, just how challenging that lineup is to deal with 1 through 9?
Well, you just got to take command of the count more than anything. We didn't command the count early, and they jumped us, and just our inability to get on the right side of the count and led them to some very positive situations and aggressive swings. But that was tonight. It's as JJ said. I mean, tomorrow's a different situation.
Okay, back here on the left.
Coach, you guys are 9-2 off of losses this year. Is there anything that you like about the way your team responds to losses in general?
That word, respond. I mean, they're an older group. They've been in a hole before, not many times, but whether it's during the course of the season or during the course of games, they've been able to navigate their way out of these situations. So we'll see. It's a good opportunity, though.
Just a reminder, please identify yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe Rexroth, Tennessee. And Tim, freshman in a situation like this, you had this a couple weeks ago. Are you to the point where you have comfort that Kumar would be in this situation right now?
He was a freshman in September. He's pitched a lot of baseball games. I think age is really not going to be the factor right now. I think the biggest part of him is he's been on the mound before and he's got confidence himself. But you're going to have to pitch well against this team. They're very good.
Okay, any more questions for Tim? If not, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, once again, if you're just now joining us, please turn off your cell phones. No flash, no video. We'll start with a comment from Coach Bakich, and then we'll start with questions for the student athletes first. Eric?
Yeah, I thought another gutsy performance by Tommy Henry. Just, think about his last 3 outings, and for him to finish his Michigan career tonight, the way he pitched, and to know that he's emptied the tank for 3 straight years and poured his heart and soul into our program, and we wouldn't be here without him, and to pitch with the flu and pneumonia in Los Angeles, to do what he did against Florida State, to pitch into the 9th inning tonight, just an incredible performance, and it's what we needed. We needed a guy to put the team on his back, so to speak, and he's been a great captain, great leader, an inspiration to a lot of younger pitchers about what hard work looks like, and showing up here tonight. In terms of the game, I thought Vanderbilt did a really good job of minimizing our scoring opportunities. Even though we got a lot of hits and scored 7 runs, there were a lot of other opportunities where they made big pitches with runners in scoring position, and just we didn't cash in, which is why the score, stayed so close. So you got to see, credit to their pitching staff, elevating fastballs, burying breaking balls, and just coming up with some big zeros when the game probably could have gotten a wider margin for sure, and maybe even by a lot. Just the difference in 2 games, a lot of 2-out RBIs against Texas Tech, and that wasn't necessarily the case tonight. But we did have some big plays, a huge hit, a 2-run home run by Jimmy Kerr when they started to get the momentum back and Fellows was settling in, and we needed that blast right there. And Jordan Brewer's throw was a huge throw at the time, and then Joe Donovan's home run for more insurance. So we did have enough sparks and enough of big plays. But just proud of our guys to, that's a really good opponent, a historic team that they've got over there, and to come out on top tonight and take game 1 was the best way to start.
Okay, we'll open up now for questions for the student athletes. Remember to identify yourself and your affiliation and to whom you're directing the question, and open up questions for the student athletes.
Steve Kornacki,
Oh,
I'm
Steve.
GoBlue.com. This is for Jordan. You guys scored first again, and it seems to really work wonders for you. Talk about you drove in that run with a double, the importance of that, getting on the board, knowing you got Tommy going.
Yeah, I was excited. Once we got going, I knew Tommy Henry. Once we gave him the lead, it was lights out for him. Coach Novel worked with me and told me to stay on the ball, and I stayed on the ball, and good things happened. And then I had Jesse flying around the bag, so it was awesome.
Okay, here in the back. We did? We didn't. Okay. Aaron?
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Jimmy, this has been quite a ride for this whole group, but I mean, your 3rd home run here in Omaha, you must just be feeling really good right now, but what did this one feel like? I mean, that home run in this setting in the CWS Finals, and how big do you think that was to kind of stem the tide of their comeback attempt?
Yeah, I mean, other than that at bat today, I had 4 pretty rough at bats. So it wasn't my best day at the plate, but when we got Tommy on the mound, you don't really worry about only being up 1 run. Our team has so much trust in this pitching staff and how they performed over the postseason that we don't have a lot of pressure on ourselves because we know all we need is a few run lead, and they're going to take care of the rest. So it was a big hit, but we're not too worried about putting up too many runs because we trust our pitchers.
Do you have something up here? Okay. Aaron again.
Tommy, from your perspective, how big of a play you think that throw was that Jordan made? And he looked like he was fired up. How fired up did that make all you guys?
I don't think I've yelled that loud on a baseball field in a long time. Just how big of a spot it was, how tough of a throw it was, and how easy he made it look. was awesome. Honestly, like when I saw the guy rounding second base, in my head I was saying, eat it, eat it, eat it. But you got to trust Brewer's arm, and he let it show. So it was a huge moment, a huge momentum swing. Yeah, I owe him dinner or something.
Get back here on the right. Matt?
Matt DeMarinis, white and blue review for Tommy. Obviously, the Florida State performance was one thing, but Vanderbilt's lineup's a little bit different. What was the key for you tonight and just kind of navigating through, even when they were maybe stringing together some good at-bats and putting some traffic on the bases?
Coach Feder drew up a really good game plan tonight. And the two of us just tried to execute it as good as we could. That's a really talented lineup, 1 through 9, as good as it gets. So there's no breaks, no lapses throughout that entire lineup. And we just tried to do our best to keep him as off balance as we possibly could, kind of throw the kitchen sink at him and see what happens. And the defense made a lot of good plays tonight on hard hit balls, so it worked out a little bit.
Adam?
Adam Sparks of Tennessee, and for Joe, you guys obviously weren't too familiar with Vanderbilt before this series. How do they compare to other lineups you faced? Just statistically, they're as good as you guys have faced. Do you see it that way?
I mean, yeah, Vanderbilt's just got a great team, and one of the great things about college baseball today is that a lot of us have played on summer teams and everything, so I'm sure Tommy's faced a lot of these guys in the summer. I played with a few guys, but yeah, I mean, whenever you face them, whether it's as a team at Vanderbilt or like in the summer, they're great hitters all around, and you look usually when you look at the other lineup, that there's a few batters that you can kind of settle in on, and just they do not have any of those. So, I mean, that says even more to Tommy because he's able to go through such a talented lineup and executes the game plan so well.
Aaron?
Joe, you had that walk there in the second, and it seemed like both those rallies, the first 2 innings, were kind of started by the walks. And you guys have had a lot of those here in Omaha. How important is the play discipline piece to this team's offensive attack? And was that part of the game plan coming into this against Fellows today, was try to drive up that pitch count early?
I think we just, as a team, we try to hunt fastballs as much as we can, and if it's in the zone and a good count, then just try to drive it. Coach says there's only 2 counts. There's non-2-strike counts, and then there's 2-strike counts. And so if you're in a non-2-strike count, then you just look for a pitch that you can smash, and then if you are, you just try to fight it off as many as possible. And like Jack Blumgren today is an example of that. When he was in 2-strike counts, he just fouled him off, and it's so great for our entire team for that, because you're able to get a guy's pitch count so far up. And Drake, who's such a great pitcher, we were able to get his pitch count pretty high and get into their bullpen.
One more question for the student athletes.
Max Schneider, Vanderbilt Hustler. This is for Jimmy. You guys get Kumar Rocker tomorrow. What have you seen from him, and how do you prepare for a guy who's been as hot as he's been lately?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows about his performance in the Super Regional. Super talented guy, all the tools in the world. But, we're going to break him down tomorrow before the game and see where our game plan goes from there. But we're just ready to keep taking it one pitch at a time, because that's how we've gotten here so far.
Okay, guys, thank you. See you tomorrow night. Thanks, Joe. Good job, Tommy. Jordan, thank you. We'll start here for coach for Eric, and we'll start with Matt.
Matt Medina from Shauna's Hospital for Children. Coach, your team seems to play so loose, and they look like they're having so much fun, even considering this is the biggest game of their career so far. Even when Jordan Brewer fell down running to third base, he had a huge smile. How do you keep the dugout so loose and keep your guys motivated to keep pushing forward while having fun?
Thanks, Matt. Those are all compliments. Everybody said that. Everybody has commented on that. You guys look so loose. You look like you're having a lot of fun, and we are. We've been on the road for 6 weeks and having the time of our lives. So we are loose. I would say that it's just the recognition of the difference of when we weren't loose and how we played, and how we play when we are loose, and what a stark contrast it is. And not only the execution on the field, but the enjoyment factor of playing the game. So I appreciate you saying that. I'm glad it's noticeable. It certainly feels that way in the dugout and on the field.
Adam.
To follow up on that question, your guys are one win away. I'm sure they can taste a national title. How do you handle the psychology of that, of them being this close?
Same thing we keep saying, don't make this moment too big. We have to shrink the moment, and this is what we've kept talking about, shrinking the moment and making it just about baseball and immersing it. These guys just need to immerse themselves into each other, and that's really all it is. And if it can be just about baseball and just about immersing themselves into one another, then they're not thinking about winning a national championship. They're not thinking about what happens. We're about to win a regional at Corvallis, and then we start to get tight. The way this has been working is to not get outside of ourselves and not make things too big. And our guys have done a great job of that. I mean, they know what they're playing for. They know what the stakes are. They know the stage. They know everything. But they're not acting like the stage and the lights and the moment is too big, because I think they're doing a really good job of just staying in the moment with each other and having as much fun as they can and being as loose as they possibly can.
Eric, 18 walks. Aaron kind of asked the guys this, but 18 walks in between a bracket final and a CWS final. Considering the level of pitching you're facing in those two games, what's been the key to kind of raising the level of the quality of your at bats and just making tough outs 1 through 9?
Well, Joe alluded to it. We shrink the zone with less than 2 strikes. We look for pitches to smash, and that's, a lot of times that's it could be a fastball, could be an elevated mistake off-speed pitch, whatever. It doesn't always have to be a fastball. But shrinking the zone, every hitter knows where they hit the ball the hardest. For us, it's all about how hard you hit it. We don't care about launch angle. We just care about how hard you hit it. And understanding that having the discipline to try to shrink the zone and just go after those pitches you can hit the hardest with less than 2 strikes is going to put you in good hitters' counts. And when you do have 2 strikes, we talk about it becoming a team at-bat. It's no longer your at-bat. It's a team at-bat. And your job is to get in there and be as gritty as you possibly can and fight to win the next pitch and see another pitch. If it means you got to stick your butt out and foul a pitch off, we're not interested in Twitter swings with 2 strikes. We just want to be gritty. Gritty, not pretty. And our guys have bought into that so well, and you see it when it's on display there, and just having some of the 2-strike battles that we had tonight that led to runs or led to guys getting on base. I'm just so impressed with our guys and how they fight pitch to pitch, especially with 2 strikes. So you shrink the zone with less than 2 strikes, you expand the zone with 2 strikes, and you just find a way to put the barrel on the ball. That's it. And so our guys are doing a good job of that. We'll have our work cut out for us tomorrow, because the deal with Rocker is the breaking ball is tough to pick up, and it's late and it's got depth. So we know he's very good. And we know Fellows was very good too, and the whole pitching staff is good. The whole team's good. So these types of games, it's who can play the best.
Okay. Let's go back over here. Yes.
Abby Snyder, Michigan Daily. Coach, you've scored in the first inning of every game in the College World Series, and you've gone on to win all 4 of those. How does an early lead contribute to your team's mindset, their momentum, and how they play?
It's the name of the game in sport. Score first and get a lead and expand a lead, or get a lead and keep a lead. And so it just opens up the offense a little bit. When guys are playing with a lead in any sport, There's some confidence there. There's some mental freedom there. We've played with deficits as well. We had plenty of deficits along the way to get here. But scoring first is an offensive goal of ours that we have every game. And so we've been fortunate that our guys have put some good at-bats together early in the game and been able to take a lead. So we'll certainly continue to be aggressive, to look to get on the board as quick as we can. But that definitely is an advantage and allows us to open up the offense a little more, be more aggressive in certain spots.
John.
John Diatawa with the World Herald. Sorry, Coach, if you were asked this, I came in late, but there's just a spirit and an emotion that your team has on the field that's been pretty noticeable here. Is that just a result of them kind of playing free, or what have you noticed about that, and how much has it contributed to your success in Omaha? Just their energy.
Yeah, it started a month ago. It was that realization of when we play not to lose, we lose. When we play loose and we compete as best we can and be aggressive and shift the target from being tight and squeezing it and thinking ahead instead of just shrinking the moment and just immersing themselves with one another. And I think it all gets down to the perspective that they gained when they were staring their season being over right in the face, one strike away from not having any postseason. And the perspective they got is they get another day together. So it's been one game at a time, one more day with each other. And they've truly, they've celebrated each day of the postseason like it's been a gift, because it was a reality. We were done. If we don't come back and beat Illinois and go 0-2 in the Big Ten tournament, season's over. In fact, if we don't beat Maryland the next day, season's still probably over. If we don't beat the Nebraska in game one of the doubleheader, season might be over. We had every win that we got was critical. We were one of the last 4 teams in. And so that told you that we needed all 41 of those wins, whatever it was, to make a run through the losers bracket of the Big Ten tournament. Once we were in, the guys already had that feeling. It was already like what started as relief in the walk-off win against Illinois turned into that light bulb of, what are we doing? Why are we playing this way? And coaches too. We were tight too. You could feel it. Everybody. It was hand in hand. And now it's the total opposite. And now we needed that. We needed that moment to happen organically because we haven't navigated our way through the postseason before. So it's not like we could rely on experience. But now that we've done this, it sure feels right, and it feels exactly what you want in order to make this type of run. This is the feeling that I would think these teams have. We just want to hang on to it as long as we can.
Adam?
Is Criswell going tomorrow? How much does he have left?
He could. Yeah, I've got to talk to the coaches. He threw 9 pitches, so that's what he did against UCLA. He pitched an inning and started the next day, so he's certainly capable. We could go Criswell, or we could do a committee type of thing. It'll either be a righty or a lefty, Adam. I'll let you.
Nobody amphibians. Okay. Last question.
Coach, despite one of your best all-around games, both hitting and pitching, there was still a little bit left to be desired. There's 12 runners left on base. The base running didn't always pay off some pass balls. How difficult can it be to really, corral the guys in and remember there are lessons to be learned from every game after just such a great win like this?
Yeah, we debrief the game after every game, and they know that we didn't cash in on all of our scoring opportunities. We could have been better. We left a lot of runners on base and had runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs and didn't get the job done and didn't move runners when we could have. So, we didn't play as well as we could have, but we played well enough. And so games like this, it's you want to, there's good and bad in every game. And, we could have been better in certain spots tonight, but we still did enough and made enough plays to where we were able to come out on top. And so we'll take it.
Take that. Eric, thank you.
Okay.
See you tomorrow night. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.